What a terrible day to like physical media. And to not be Japanese? Woo! And I thought the previous direct was the big one. I should have known better. Don't they know I'm busy making pennies per the hour? Let's get into this because I don't want to extend this for longer than it needs to be. I have mixed feelings about this direct, so let's get on this roller coaster together, shall we? Let's review some of these features. I can appreciate the new method to connecting the Joy-Cons together. They snap rather than slide, which will help avoid damage. I've seen way too many instances where Joy-Cons are damaged, or they damage the system itself due to carelessness. That was my initial concern when the snapping feature was introduced, but if you're mindful, it should be fine. Obviously, if you don't take care of your systems, they'll be damaged. And that's not the company's fault. That's yours for being a big clumsy goof. I'm also glad that the accessory controller that the Joy-Cons attach to don't cling to them from the outside. The original one kept them in place, which meant they fit very snugly into it, which is great, but as someone who likes an additional layer of protection, I bought these clear cases that add a layer of thickness to the system and the controllers, which means I can't use this little thing at all, which sucks because it's my favorite. And the Switch doesn't slide in as easily into the dock either. But that was my decision, so I have to live with the consequences. Hopefully this new accessory and this new dock is slightly bigger so that, everything will fit nice. I am, however, concerned about this stand. The first stand broke easily, which is why the OLED provided a sturdier option. This has the same shape, I guess, but could bend easily? I don't know, it depends on the material, but I don't see why they wouldn't stick to the OLED style. They must know something I don't. Either way, I'm grateful for the incredible tilt. I rarely use it, but I know others will. It's all about comfort. The Switch is the same thickness, but it's also larger. So expect buying a new case for it. There's gonna be a wave of new cases that, oh boy, I am not excited for, but that's the price you have to pay for higher quality. This is also more convenient for Nintendo as well, so it's a prudent choice. The shoulder buttons are bigger, which is nice. One of the largest complaints about the Joy-Cons is that the controllers were too small. I didn't mind it, but the SL and the SR buttons were difficult to press, even for me, and I have small hands. Hooray for this change! I sincerely hope that the inner ends of these Joy-Cons are strong. They might have underestimated how angry mouse users can get. I don't doubt someone will slam their controller, break it, and then blame it on the company. Like, hey, maybe take care of your stuff first before blaming it on someone else. I won't be using this mouse feature, but I'm excited to see others use it. The high-quality display will match the intense titles coming to the Switch. 120 frames, huh? About time. Let's hope that the games they make also run this way. The Thousand Year Door HD, for example, ran in 30 frames, which was odd considering the capabilities of the Switch. And I'm also pretty sure the original ran in 60. I can't remember, it's been a couple years since I've played it. With this new hardware, Nintendo will have more freedom with pursuing their graphics to new limits. We get the HDR and 4K visuals while docked, which is incredible. Again, about time. Oh, Tears of the Kingdom is gonna look so good. Oh, I'm so ready. Game chat is basically their way of integrating group chat without using a third-party software like Discord. PlayStation implemented Discord a while back, but, that's a different company. I don't blame Nintendo for wanting to use their own software. I would too. Have you been on Discord? It's a weird-ass cesspool. That way you can control how it functions, and modify it as you please. They launched a similar feature on the Nintendo Switch Online app, which let you voice chat with friends, but I never used it. I think you needed an online subscription, and I didn't have that at the time, so I didn't even bother. Others can stream for you while you play, which is cool. You can tell from the trailer that it's expected to be laggy. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm glad they're being honest at the very least. I will give this feature a try since I love streaming games for friends. This friend and I stream to each other often, and I wouldn't mind seeing her screen while we play the same game without using Discord. That way we don't have to boot up our computers and use Elgato just to stream to each other. Boom! Now we can do it directly. Overall, they're decent features. Other companies have done most of this years ago. Nintendo has always been about playing games with your friends and bringing the community together. Within their rules, of course. You try anything else and they'll sue the hell out of you. They've always been the compatibility alternative. You don't play on the Switch for HD graphics, that's what the PC and other consoles are for. You want HD graphics handheld? Steam Deck. You can literally port your Switch titles onto the PC and crank up the settings as well. This is all legal, by the way, because you're buying the game physically, but Nintendo won't. They're not gonna like that. That's why I don't plan to teach anyone how to do it. If Nintendo sues me, I lose the very little I have. I have basically nothing. They'd win chump change by suing me, so it would be a waste of their time. But there are other creators who are more experienced with these topics, so check them out. You know what keywords to search, I'm not gonna do it for you. Now, I'm going to stay mostly positive for this video, but I have some words to exchange with the company. First of all, what the fuck? The upgrade idea is fine. When the PS4 was released, you could upgrade your PS3 titles, and the same was done for the PS5. That's great. You know what the difference was? Those upgrades were free. You could argue it's because they're giving you new content, and that's fine. They should charge a little extra for new features. But the price tells you what the reason truly is. A price we don't know at this moment, and as of recording this, so we don't know for sure. And they did mention that some of the upgrades would be free. I'm assuming the ones that don't have any content additions, the ones that are just graphic improvements, will probably be free. We'll see with time. Another exchange of words. Base game's 80 bucks for the most part, 90 euros, etc. for other countries, you do the math. But Donkey Kong Bonanza is 70, which is odd. I understand the concept of physical games being more expensive because of the material used, but that doesn't mean the price should go up. If anything, the price of the digital price should go down. So if 60 is the base price physically, then 50 should be the digital price. Especially since those digital game cards they're giving you don't even have the game in them. But it's easier to raise everything by 10 or even 20 bucks because why not? That's the economy, baby! The rich keep getting richer. Especially if you're not Japanese. Which makes sense if you think about it. These consoles and games have to be shipped overseas. And yes, let's not pretend like these prices don't include outside reasons. I don't doubt the tariffs are a huge factor in the price. And yes, that affects exports to other countries as well, because Nintendo doesn't want to lose money due to gamers buying their consoles from Europe or Mexico or anywhere else. Also, inflation is a thing. So let's rip that band-aid off. Sometimes a decision is so stupid that it affects the entire world. And if you haven't been personally affected before, well, now you are. The decisions of a few impact the rest so much more, and now you know how it feels. Nintendo is not solely to blame for this, but their decisions to charge more for games will also create a domino effect that will encourage other companies to do the same. So be prepared for that. We are but tiny ants compared to these soulless companies. Somewhat soulless, some of them care, it really varies. But let's take a break from this somber tone and talk about some games. Ooh, we've got a lot I want to talk about. I was not expecting an open world Mario Kart game. I'm adding that to my bingo card. Unexpected open world from a title that has never used it. Wait, so is this what Donkey Kong looks like now? Huh. I wonder why they changed him. It'll take me some time to get used to it. He doesn't look bad, just different. It's all in the eyes, really. And he's not the only one. Mario looks smaller and pudgier. He's kind of cute. Everyone looks smaller and cuter. I don't know what brought the alteration, but I don't know. I like it. Maybe to appeal to even more children. This new look is fun to stare at, and the game itself still looks gorgeous, so it's not a big deal. Can I just say, King Boo looks mighty fine, quite dapper even. I'd share some afternoon tea and crumpets with this lovely, ghostly fellow. And if you didn't notice, there were several different outfits. I did see somewhere, I think IGN posted photos, that the outfits are different characters. Like, it's still, let's say Peach, for example, but it's a different Peach, which is kind of weird. They should have just put it into one. I assume this is related to the picture mode they added. It makes everything feel more open world. I hope there are more options to customize. Not an insane amount, this is still primarily a racing game, but enough to satiate my hunger for customization. 24 drivers, though. That's pure chaos. I am worried. I am afraid. For the losers I'll leave behind, woo! Eat my dust, ya punks! I can't imagine how crazy it'll be when you get hit by 50 shells and like 30 bananas for 5 entire seconds when you get stuck in that center crowd. Whew, good luck escaping hell. Knockout Tour sounds like a battle royale. Can't wait to play this one online and get humbled immediately. I'm good, but I'm not that good. Other than Grand Prix, I see myself using free roam the most, at least at first, so I can practice stages stress-free. I know I can learn them with time trial, but that stresses me out. Having the timer in the corner and only 3 mushrooms. I don't know, there's something about it that's just not enjoyable at all. Nintendo has always impressed me with their world design, so I can't wait to see it. Welcome towards Fawn. It's like an MTV Cribs episode you have to pay for. Only paying customers can see our hardware. Or I can just tear it apart myself with a screwdriver. It's a glorified way to explain how the hardware works, which is information that everyone should know, by the way, for free. Info that could be useful for people to care for their consoles, and it's behind a freaking paywall. Patience, children. Someone will Robin Hood that information for us. I've only ever played with the HDR setting on one game, and it was the one time I played anything on the living room TV. The Mass Effect Legendary Edition looked so good. I can't wait to see how these newer games, particularly Tears of the Kingdom, will look on the big screen. You can use the mouse to aim, which is fun. Personally, I won't be doing this. I've always used a controller, even while PC gaming, because I want to avoid carpal tunnel. But I'm sure the PC Master Race will enjoy this option. All hail the Ghost in the Machine. We've got an interesting collection of third-party games coming to the Switch too, which is pretty impressive. It's impressive that they consider the Nintendo Switch 2 worthy enough of these graphic, intense games. Ooh, Split Fiction. This one was fun. Okay, I don't want to rant. So I'm playing this one right now, and it's been fun. I love identifying all the Easter eggs and inspiration from other titles. You can tell there was a lot of love put into this game. If you like It Takes Two or A Way Out, you'll enjoy this one. A Way Out is my favorite thus far because of what happens near the end, but I'll let you find that out yourself. You didn't see games like these often when I was growing up, but they still give me that exciting feeling of playing a co-op game with a friend or sibling. We need more titles like these. It gives me a reason to actually play games with someone in the same room, which I find to be significantly more enjoyable than playing online. I also read on the Wikipedia page that there's a film in development. If true, oh dear. I hope the writing isn't as forced as it is in the game, but I do hope it looks even more beautiful because the visuals in Split Fiction are stunning. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. Ooh. No. No. No, no, Nintendo! Nintendo. You've been holding out on me. You can't do this to me. You can't release a game like this in the winter, knowing full well I don't buy shit until 2 years later. Oh, my wallet, I cannot afford this. Especially if the game's gonna be like $80 or $90. Ah, fuck it, who needs to eat? Anyways. I'll live off the land. I'll eat bugs and drink from rivers. I don't talk about this series enough on my channel, but I love the Warriors series. Granted, mainly the Nintendo ones. I've only played one of the Dynasty Warriors games. I can't remember which one. It was for the PS3, or maybe it was the PS4. I can't remember what was out at the time. And you could create a character and play as them. If you know which one this is, please tell me. And if there are various that fit that criteria, I also want to know because I've been buying them lately, so I wanna collect them. I've been trying to figure it out for years to no avail. But anyway, Dynasty Warriors introduced me to this genre of games, and I've loved it ever since. I bought the original Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U and even nabbed some of the DLC. I didn't get the 3DS one and was sad about it because it had Wind Waker DLC. And then the Switch one was announced. You know me. I don't grab games until they're out of the loop 10 years later, but this one backfired on me. I couldn't find it anywhere. It took me, 4, maybe 5 years to get a copy? And it was a gift. I had actually seen several copies, but they were severely overpriced. So I didn't get them. So when someone bought it for me, I was like, how much did you pay for this? I am worried for you. I'm only 290 hours in, and I still haven't finished the game. Then Age of Calamity was released, and I didn't get that one until much later. Also a gift. You bet I'm getting the new one. I'm not as excited for it though, since I'm not fond of the characters. Yes, Raru is cool, but who the fuck are these guys? I mean, I know who they are. But we get little to no information about them, so I don't care for them. But I suppose that's what this game is for, right? I'm glad they're giving us Zelda's side of the story. They wanted to do that back in Skyward Sword, but it was unfortunately scrapped. I like Link and all, but it's time we saw someone else take the lead. I'm also tired of playing the same sword playstyle throughout the entire story. It's very exhausting. I think the reason why I still play the definitive edition is because the bulk of the game isn't the story. The main story is great, and it features new characters not native to the Zelda universe, but it's not the main focus. The rest of the game lies on these maps that are themed around Zelda titles. From here, you can strengthen your units, unlock new weapons, and even discover entirely new playable characters. Age of Calamity has a similar setup, but instead of multiple maps, it's based around one. I think the appeal of the definitive edition is seeing characters from various games. People like Midna, Skull Kid, and fucking Tingle Tingle Koolimpa. After opening the game again, I realized why I didn't enjoy Age of Calamity as much. It wasn't the story, it wasn't the lack of maps, it was the fact that I was streaming it. And most of you aren't gonna know about this, but yeah, I streamed it in preparation for something. Playing this game for others ruined the experience for me. So much so that I'm going to delete this save file and start over. The experience left such a gross taste in my mouth, and I had to delete an entire rant I wrote about it before I opened the game. My complaints were unfounded, and I want to discover my love for Age of Calamity, so I'm replaying this. Gonna do it now before I regret it later because I made a ton of progress, but goodbye. Age of Imprisonment might provide a similar experience. I get why these aren't as expansive as the definitive edition, and Tears of the Kingdom has 3 maps to work with, so I can only imagine the sheer amount of quests and world building we'll receive. I want to learn more about Gloom, more about the depths. I want to know how the islands in the skies came to be. I can't wait to play this. No. No, no, but Nintendo wasn't done. They can't stop there. This is like the biggest direct they've ever had. Or in a while. They're finally adding GameCube to Nintendo Switch Online. It's about time. Wait, what's that? More to come. More to come? Is that Path of Radiance I see? Yeah! Do you have any idea how much I love this game? I have an entire hours worth, days even, worth of VODs of just this. Unreleased, sitting in my hard drive, and you won't get to see it. I mean, I don't know about that yet. But you bet your ass I'm playing that shit again. Now, funny enough, I own most of the titles featured on this screen. I've played them all, and you bet your ass I'm playing them again. Never finished Gale of Darkness, and I don't feel like dusting off the old GameCube, so I'm gonna play it on the Switch too. Super Mario Sunshine HD was cool, but I like the controls of the GameCube better. I'm definitely playing that. Mario Strikers, but now I can play with others, so that'll be great. I also did Luigi's Mansion for a stream with Crown. Never finished the game, so you bet I'll be going back to that. Soul Calibur. This is my favorite. What is this genre called? Like the fighting genre, you know, the ones side by side? I don't know what the fuck they're called. I normally dislike them, but I grew up with Soul Calibur. I actually have the one shown. The one where Link is. Yeah, I have that. I just don't have the copy on me at this moment. I remember how excited I was about it. I still buy the series. I got Soul Calibur 5, and then again Soul Calibur 6 from the swap meet not too long ago, and I immediately started making OCs. I can't believe this emulator is Nintendo 2 exclusive. I'm pretty sure it could run on the Switch. Wait, is that why they didn't release it? Could the hardware not handle it? Okay, I forgive you, Nintendo. I don't, however, forgive you for making me want to spend money I don't have. It's fine. I can wait. This is what I do best. I'll just distract myself by playing Cyberpunk 2077, 2 years after its release. Or 3? I don't even know. That's fine. I'm okay with this. And it comes with a controller! A wireless controller, oh my god! My heart. I think I'm gonna faint. I need to relax, I need to chill. Hey, maybe they'll add Kirby Air Ride now that it's getting a new installment. No, maybe they'll add Donkey Kong 64, which, as of release of this video, still isn't on there. Please! Booting up my own Nintendo 64 is not an option right now. Hey, I'm glad they're adding Deltarune! I enjoyed this one a lot more than Undertale because of how polished and well written it is, compared to the first one, of course. The characters are just as entertaining, so I recommend that if you haven't tried it already. I've only played chapter 1, so it'll be cool to see the other 3. I will refrain from saying anything further. I don't want to summon the vultures. Borderlands 4. Oh dear. I'm not making a video about this, so now is a good time as any to talk about it. I'm not as excited about this one. The third one had no care for the previous installations, and the writing was all kinds of wrong. I have a huge bone to pick for whichever team is in charge of the third game. You can tell that Tiny Tina's Wonderland and New Tales from the Borderlands had the same people working on it because of the writing. Oh, it leaves so much to be desired. I'm not gonna get into it. Plenty of others already have, so go watch some of that. But that worries me. The one thing they didn't ruin was the combat, so I know that'll be fun. The story, though, I'm expecting them to butcher it again. The game looks beautiful, though. I've always loved that about it. I love the world and most of its characters, so I hope they're treated with respect this time around. Civilization 7 made me realize something. Being able to use the Joy-Con as a mouse is going to open the ports. Different titles that'll work great on handheld, such as this one, will be easier to navigate with this new mechanic. I can already tell that more companies will be willing to put their games on the Switch so that it reaches a wider audience. I don't know about graphics-heavy games, but stuff like this will work wonders. Maybe they'll add more stuff like XCOM or Mechanicus, which you can get on the shop right now. Pretty good. Enjoyed them both. Those games look beautiful on my PC, but I'd love to have them handheld. You know, in the way that Fire Emblem is typically handheld. Enter the Gungeon 2, for example, will be easier with the mouse controls, and they're adding more intense games like Cyberpunk and Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is only the beginning of this saga for Nintendo Switch 2. And there's a list. I linked an article in the description of pretty much everything that you'll be getting this year. And, oh boy. It's like, what? These companies are competing with each other, and it's like, well, which do I buy first? It's gonna be up to you. But let me end this section with a tweet.
Well, can you see, due to inflation, it just makes sense Nintendo would charge $80 for a game, $90 for the actual, like, real copy, like a physical copy. That's just for digital. But anyway, and I was like, well, okay, well, minimum wage hasn't changed since 2009 when games are $60, so why would a consumer ever want to justify spending more money without them having more of it? And them. Right? So the point, my whole point was like, yes, inflation exists, your money is worth less, prices increase, but why would people that are paying the money ever, like, go out there and be like, yes, things are costing more, hooray, you know, like, or just, like, you know, fight, like, making the case for the company.
Why would I buy something that is far more expensive when I can't afford it? I simply won't. And it's easier for me because I've been doing it this way my whole life. Nowadays, when I can somewhat afford a game, I don't buy it right away, for one reason or another. But my biggest reason is that I don't care about FOMO, you know, the fear of missing out. It's not real. Well, the concept and the occurrence of it is very real, I see all the time, but it doesn't have to be real for you. No one is living your life but you, and no one will look back and regret it but you. Make better decisions now so you can look back and think, yeah, that was the right call. I'm glad I took control of my own life without caring about whether I was relevant or not. Newsflash, nobody cares. Everyone is busy doing their own thing. This year is going to be overwhelming. We've got an abnormal amount of content coming our way, so all I ask is that you be careful. Don't spend what you don't need. You're not missing out on much if you wait a couple months. Take it from me. I didn't get a Switch until the OLED. I just started playing CYBERPUNK, and I feel great about it. There's no pressure. As Nintendo's greed increases, our tolerance decreases. And you're on the right track to be just like Sony and Microsoft. Welcome to the modern age, Nintendo. We've been expecting you.